On October 15, 2024, the world watched in disbelief as North Korea committed another shocking act of aggression. This time, it wasn't a missile launch or a nuclear test. Pyongyang chose to demolish sections of two vital inter-Korean roads. These roads, symbols of tentative cooperation and potential reunification, were reduced to rubble in a display of explosive anger. The Gyeonggi Line on the west coast, and the Donghai Line on the east coast, once envisioned as bridges to a shared future, became stark reminders of the deep divisions that continue to plague the Korean peninsula. This act of destruction, carried out with a calculated disregard for international opinion, sent shockwaves across the region and beyond. It raised urgent questions about Kim Jong Un's intentions and the future of inter-Korean relations. Was this a desperate attempt to grab attention, a sign of internal struggles, or a dangerous escalation of tensions? As the dust settled, the world grappled with the implications of North Korea's latest provocation. This act immediately brought back memories of past instances of North Korean aggression. In 2020, the world watched as North Korea destroyed the Inter-Korean Liaison Office in Kaesong. This building, meant for communication and cooperation, was reduced to rubble in an instant. The message was clear. North Korea was closing the door on dialogue and reconciliation. The demolition of the roads felt like an unwelcome sequel, a stark reminder that the situation on the Korean peninsula remained volatile and unpredictable. The destruction was not random but targeted specific points along the inter-Korean border. The Gyeonggi Line, running along the west coast, was once a vital artery connecting Seoul to Pyongyang. This historic route, severed during the Korean War, was partially reopened in the early 2000s as a symbol of reconciliation. On the east coast, the Donghai Line offered a similar promise of connection and cooperation. Both these vital lifelines were brutally severed by North Korea's actions, erasing years of progress in a matter of hours. The method of destruction was as shocking as the act itself. Explosives were used to shatter the roads, leaving behind gaping craters and twisted metal. Witnesses reported seeing plumes of smoke billowing into the sky as the detonations echoed across the demilitarized zone. Heavy machinery, including trucks and excavators, was deployed to complete the demolition. This orchestrated display of force left no doubt about North Korea's intentions. The regime was sending a clear message. The path to reconciliation was blocked. The choice of location for the destruction added another layer of significance to the event. The demolition occurred near the heavily fortified military demarcation line, a constant reminder of the divisions on the peninsula. It also impacted areas near the former Kaesong industrial complex. This joint economic venture, a symbol of inter-Korean cooperation, had been closed since 2016. The destruction near Kaesong felt like a deliberate blow to the idea of economic partnership and a unified future. In the aftermath of the explosions, all eyes turned to Pyongyang for an explanation. North Korea, known for its secrecy and unpredictable behavior, did not keep the world waiting for long. State-controlled media outlets were quick to justify the action, claiming it was a direct response to provocations from South Korea. The Kim regime accused Seoul of sending propaganda-filled drones over Pyongyang, calling it a serious provocation and a violation of its sovereignty. Kim Jong Un, the supreme leader, went a step further, personally overseeing a meeting with military and security officials. During the meeting, he condemned the alleged drone flights and ordered immediate military action against the South. The demolition of the roads was presented as a measured and proportionate response to South Korean aggression. However, many international observers saw it as a blatant attempt to deflect blame and justify North Korea's own aggressive actions. The timing of the incident raised further suspicions about Kim Jong Un's motives. The destruction came amidst heightened tensions in the region, with North Korea conducting a series of missile tests and military exercises. Some analysts believe that the Kim regime was using the alleged drone incident as a pretext to escalate tensions and project an image of strength. By portraying itself as a victim of South Korean aggression, Pyongyang could justify its own military buildup and deflect attention from its internal problems. Section 4. Seoul's stance, a measured response to Pyongyang's provocation. South Korea, long accustomed to North Korea's provocations, responded to the incident with a mix of caution and condemnation. Seoul immediately denied any involvement in the alleged drone flights, calling them groundless claims and part of North Korea's habitual tactic of escalating tensions. President Yoon Suk-yeol condemned the destruction of the roads as provocative and unhelpful for peace on the Korean peninsula. He vowed to take all necessary measures to protect his country's security and called on Pyongyang to cease its provocations. While condemning the act, South Korea also exercised restraint, opting for a calibrated response to avoid further escalation. Seoul fired warning shots south of the demarcation line, a symbolic gesture to demonstrate its resolve. The South Korean military was placed on high alert, closely monitoring North Korean military movements for any signs of further aggression. South Korea also engaged in diplomatic efforts, reaching out to its allies, including the United States, to coordinate a response and condemn North Korea's actions on the international stage. South Korea's measured response reflects a difficult balancing act. On the one hand, Seoul cannot afford to appear weak or indecisive in the face of North Korean aggression. On the other hand, a disproportionate response could easily spiral into a wider conflict, something both sides can ill afford.